Coast Mountain College was able to facilitate the return of a poignant piece of family history to its rightful owner. Here's CFTK's Jaylene with more on this story.
And when I'm invited to talk, I always talk about my grandmother because I always felt like she never got the recognition she deserved during her life and even in the years since.
Luann Neel is the granddaughter of a trailblazing artist. Ellen Neel was a Kwakwaka'wakw woodcarver and one of the first women known to have professionally carved totem poles. Luann is also a carver and has been struggling to finish a piece for some time.
I didn't like the way the beak was, and I thought it doesn't feel right, it doesn't look right. When I study my grandmother's pieces, I've got my hands running all over and getting a real sense of how the width feels, how the tapering feels. So I'd hold my mask and go, "Ah, it's all wrong, it's all wrong."
Luann then received a welcome gift.
Listeners tracked me down and said, "Hey, we've got a carving of your grandmother's." I actually had two other couples who also had not fully finished pieces that they had. Their parents had same story as this one, had specifically asked for an unfinished piece. There must have been something about that back in the 20s and 30s. People were fascinated to see something unfinished. And so those pieces came back to me.
Finally, Nikita Trimble Wilson from Coast Mountain College reached out to Neel. The college had obtained a piece they wanted to return to Neel, carved by her grandmother.
And when this piece came back, it was right when I was trying to figure out how to refine this eagle mask I'd been working on for quite a few years. I'm just learning on my own. And when I lined up this piece with the other three pieces I'd received, it gave me a perfect sequence of how each phase of the carving that I'm working on, how that should go. So needless to say, I've gotten a lot further probably since receiving this piece than I have in previous years, but it's just absolutely a joy because it feels like my grandmother still gets to mentor me through her pieces and through these pieces that are at different phases of being complete. And it also, I think, just gave me that little reminder that when you're given that ability and that desire to carve or do our forms of art, you don't take that lightly. Take it not so much seriously, but take it to heart and do your best job with it, and you can't go wrong.
For CFTK TV News in Terrace, I'm Jaylene Matthews.